Stop everything you are doing and just listen to me. Taurus, you did not click on this video by chance. The very cycle of your life that has finally turned brought you here today. I feel the exhaustion in your bones, the weight of having waited so long in silence while everyone else seemed to move forward. Do not look away now, because what you have been waiting for has finally crossed the threshold. And I need to tell you exactly how it is going to unfold. There is that heaviness in your chest when you look at how much you've built and feel like you're still waiting for your turn, as if time is running out. It is a silent ache, the deep frustration of the relentless sower who nurtures everyone else's soil, but sees their own harvest constantly delayed. You feel like a heavily loaded ship finally docking at the port after being anchored offshore for years, waiting for the tide to rise high enough to carry it in. And that tide has finally turned. You will understand why the thing you wanted most was delayed for so long. You will discover the invisible sign that proves this arrival is exclusively yours. You will learn how to receive this karmic payment without letting old fears sabotage it. You will recognize the exact pattern that is ending right now. And before this message closes, I will say a sentence about your life that you will carry with you for the next few months. Have you ever felt that heaviness in your chest when you look at how much you've built and feel like you're still waiting for your turn, as if time is running out, as if something inside you whispered that you were meant to work hard but never truly reap the rewards? What if this long, agonizing delay isn't a sign that you were forgotten, but a sign that the universe is trying to align the perfect timing to deliver exactly what is yours? Because while many look at your patience and think you're just stubborn, few realize that this waiting period carries a profound karmic cleansing, an energetic recalibration, and a spiritual payoff that is finally ready to drop. But what if the great turning point lies in this revelation that you haven't been able to apply yet? Now think with me. Why do certain areas seem stuck even though I try to do everything right? What if every delayed promise, every unreturned effort, every night wondering what you did wrong, every time you had to be strong for everyone else, and that constant sensation of planting seeds in a garden you never get to enjoy, are actually signs of a karmic debt you've postponed for far too long? It was searching for answers to this that I found this digital book called The Great Secret Behind the Karmic Debt of Taurus. This digital book is not just a read. It is a revelation created for Taurus who wish to understand the karmic delays that have held your life back, break the cycles of self-doubt and endless waiting, and strengthen your inner magnetism to finally receive what the universe is handing you. Many Taurus already feel that they need to change the way they see their blockages, but they still haven't made the decision to download the digital book. Download it right now. It is available in the first pinned comment. But beware, access may be taken offline at any moment. It reveals reflections, hidden signs, and directions that can transform your path. Do not wait for another blessing to pass you by before you finally understand your own worth. Click now, download your copy, and discover why the longest wait of your life might be exactly the place where the universe was preparing your most undeniable triumph. You are still processing this right now, feeling that tightness of recognition in your chest. If this first word has already touched something within you, write "I claim my harvest" down below, not for me, but because another Taurus who is exactly where you were a year ago needs this message to find them tonight. This path has a map, and it is already within your reach in the first pinned comment. I will return to it shortly. And if for any reason you are not interested or cannot acquire the digital book right now, there is still another door open for you. I don't receive a single cent for any of these messages I deliver here every day. Nothing at all. And yet they keep coming out every day for you and for every Taurus who still needs to be reached. If at any moment your heart wishes to give back a little of what it received, there is a voluntary donation link open in the first pinned comment right below the book. Any amount that fits in your hand today. Any amount your heart points to. That is what keeps this channel standing. That is what makes the next message reach another Taurus tomorrow, exactly as it reached you today. I am waiting for you there, Taurus. I haven't even told you the most important thing yet. There are 4 signs that this cycle has already started to turn, and you will recognize at least one. I want you to slow down for a second. The noise of the outside world does not matter right now, because what is happening inside you is far too important to be ignored. You have been carrying this invisible weight for so long that you simply got used to the pressure, confusing endurance with peace. But the shift has already begun, and your own life is dropping subtle, unmistakable clues that the waiting period is over. Notice how your body reacts to what I am about to say now. Just pay attention to your shoulders, to the way your breathing changes when you hear this truth. The universe never acts without sending messengers first, and over these past few weeks, it has sent you exactly 4 signs. They felt mundane, perhaps easily dismissed as stress or exhaustion, but they were the absolute proof that the tide has finally brought your ship to the shore. Think about that Tuesday evening when you were just staring at your phone, reading a message or an email that should have brought you relief, but instead it only made you feel incredibly tired. For some of you, this appeared as a sudden wave of sheer exhaustion right after resolving a long-standing issue. For others, it was an inexplicable need to just lay down in the middle of a perfectly normal afternoon. That wasn't ungratefulness, Taurus, and it certainly wasn't you giving up. It was the physical release of years of accumulated tension finally leaving your body. You called it losing your spark, but the universe called it emptying the vessel to receive something larger. And what about that sudden urge to clean out a drawer, rearrange your room, or throw away old papers at 2 a.m. last week? You probably brushed it off as a random burst of nervous energy or just another night of insomnia. But it wasn't. It was your energy instinctually clearing out the physical space for a massive arrival that you couldn't yet see with your eyes. You were making room for the harvest. You called it a cruel delay, but the universe called it root preparation. Then came that bizarre moment in the car, or while walking alone when a song from your distant past started playing. Usually it would trigger nostalgia, maybe even a tinge of sadness for what was left behind, but this time you suddenly felt an unexpected, overwhelming wave of peace. That wasn't a random memory misfiring in your brain. It was the karmic cycle officially closing its loop, signaling that you no longer owe anything to your past versions. And finally, the 4th sign, that strange feeling of emotional numbness when someone recently offered you genuine help or a sincere compliment. You might have judged yourself, thinking you were becoming cold or distant. It wasn't coldness. It was your soul completely recalibrating, finally learning how to receive after a lifetime of only knowing how to give and sustain others. You called it being forgotten by luck, but the universe called it protecting your harvest from arriving before you were ready to hold it. These 4 signs share a common origin, and it has a name. They are all ripples of the exact same deep shift that is happening in your life right now. But before the name, you need something else. There is a path of release, and I will open it right now. Before the name, before the word. Because anyone who has carried the heavy burden of endless waiting needs relief before receiving the revelation. Stay. And this is exactly where the path of release opens. The signs that just hit you did not hit by chance, Taurus. They are the physical evidence of that silent exhaustion that isn't just physical, but the weight of a soul tired of always being the one who waits. You know exactly what I am talking about. It is that heavy feeling when you lay your head on the pillow at night, running the calculations of how much you gave versus how little you received. You have been carrying this invisible burden for so long that it almost became a part of your identity. You walk through your daily life as if the universe had a rule that your blessings must always come with a struggle attached. You learned to expect the delay. But I need you to look at this from a completely different altitude right now. Take a deep breath and truly hear me. What if this feeling of being stalled isn't bad luck, but the exact mechanism of the karmic dam holding back the flood until you are ready? I have seen Taurus who are exactly where you are right now. I have watched them push against the current day after day, exhausting themselves to build a foundation that never seemed to reward them. I have seen them give everything they had to water everyone else's garden while their own soil remained dry, believing they were somehow destined to just endure and sustain others. But there is a detail that no one told you about this waiting period. The universe does not ignore a silent worker. I saw the exact moment their cycle finally turned, the moment they stopped pushing and started receiving. But before they could receive, they had to face the ghosts of their past efforts, the promotions that went to someone else, the recognition that arrived too late, the sheer fatigue of having to rebuild from scratch one more time. You do not have to live trapped in this cycle of endless repetition anymore. You do not have to keep proving your worth to a universe that already knows exactly who you are. It is precisely to unlock this dam that you need to read. The Great Secret Behind the Karmic Debt of Taurus. This digital book is not merely a collection of words. It is the definitive map designed to help you completely understand the karmic delays that have held your life back, break the cycles of self-doubt and endless waiting, and strengthen your inner magnetism to finally receive what the universe is handing you. You have to anchor this profound truth deep within your spirit today. The universe never cancels a legitimate harvest. It only delays the delivery until the soil is strong enough to sustain the weight of the blessing. But this cosmic window will not wait for you to feel completely ready. The cycle is turning right now. Every single day you spend without this understanding is another day you spend subconsciously blocking your own delivery. Each minor hesitation, every time you brace for disappointment, every time you refuse help because you think you have to do it all alone, is a moment you risk sabotaging what is already knocking on your door. Do not wait for the universe to put you back in the waiting room, to finally grasp what this delay was trying to teach you. You have already paid the price. You have already waited long enough. Your spiritual ledger is completely balanced. The digital book is in the first pinned comment. Go there and download it right now while this word is still alive and vibrating within you. Step into the complete release of this karmic debt that only this specific path can fully map out for you. Before we move forward, I want you to physically drop your shoulders, close your eyes for just a moment, and visualize that heavily loaded ship again. It is no longer fighting the violent waves offshore. It is already resting safely in the calm waters of the harbor. That heavy iron gate that you pushed against until your hands bled has simply clicked open on its own. The struggle of planting in the freezing dark is finally behind you, and the season to safely gather your harvest has officially begun. You do not need to brace for impact anymore, Taurus. You just need to keep your hands open, release the guilt of resting, and allow the rising tide to bring everything directly to your feet. And as I had told you earlier, Taurus, besides the digital book that is in the first pinned comment, there is that open voluntary donation link right below the book. I continue to not receive a single cent for every message that comes out of here for you. That is why this link exists, so that another Taurus tomorrow finds exactly this message that found you today. Any amount your heart points to, every gesture like this keeps our channel standing and makes the next message reach whoever needs it, exactly as it reached you today. What arrives has a shape, and it has a date. And now, with the path laid out before you, the name descends. You have called it a cruel delay. You have called it losing your spark, convinced that your best years were spent building empires for others, while your own hands remained painfully empty. You have called it being forgotten by luck, wondering in the silence of the night if you were somehow marked to be the eternal provider who never gets to receive. But it is not a curse, it is not bad luck, it is not a punishment for a mistake you made in the past. It is the karmic dam. This is the invisible mechanism of the universe, the massive accumulation of your delayed rewards being intentionally held back. It acted as a solid, unbreakable wall, holding back the fierce flow of what was rightfully yours until your spiritual ledger was completely balanced and the timing was perfectly aligned. The endless waiting you endured wasn't because your efforts were in vain or because you were invisible to the world. It was the universe forcefully holding back the delivery until the exact karmic window opened, protecting your harvest from arriving before your roots were deep enough to hold it. But there is a layer beneath this that you must recognize right now. You thought the universe was saying no every time a door closed, every time a promise was broken, every time you had to start over from scratch while exhausted. It wasn't a denial. It was redirection and accumulation. The dam was simply gathering water, building the necessary pressure for a release that would permanently change the entire landscape of your life. Imagine a farmer who went out every single night, planting seeds in soil so dark and cold that everyone around him called him foolish, the sour in the dark. He watered the dirt for years, seeing nothing but mud. His hands grew calloused, His back ached, and his spirit was severely tested with every sunrise that brought absolutely no visible growth. He watched his neighbors pull vibrant fruits from their shallow, easy gardens, while his own land seemed stubbornly, cruelly barren. But he kept planting, because it is in his nature to nurture even when it hurts. Then, overnight, the entire field sprouted at once, not little by little, not in modest patches, but in an overwhelming, undeniable wave of green. It is exactly where you are right now, Taurus. The silent planting is over, the sudden blooming has begun. You must anchor this exact principle in your heart today. The universe never cancels a legitimate harvest, it only delays the delivery until the soil is strong enough to sustain the weight of the blessing. I saw you sitting on the edge of your bed, exhausted, wondering if your time would ever come. I watched you nurture everyone else's dreams, while quietly burying your own under the heavy weight of duty. I held back the tide not to break your spirit, but to ensure that when your ship finally docked, it would bring a cargo you could carry forever. You have earned this release, and your wait is officially over. There is a man who carried this exact same silent weight for a decade. He poured his soul into building secure structures for others, watched their lives thrive and expand, while his own foundation seemed to remain bare. He had accepted the quiet, heavy resignation that he was meant to be the anchor, the one who sustains the world but never gets to rest on it. And then, in a matter of 2 weeks, a completely unexpected cosmic shift happened. The universe abruptly aligned a sudden promotion, an unexpected relocation, and the exact, undeniable stability he had stopped praying for. What changed in him wasn't his work ethic, nor did he suddenly start working harder. It was his sudden, profound realization that he no longer needed to carry the world's weight to deserve his own space. The karmic dam simply broke, and the massive flood of delayed rewards finally rushed in to meet him. You are still processing this right now, perhaps feeling that strange mix of profound relief and defensive tension pulling at your chest, as your stubborn mind tries to brace for impact, just in case this is another false alarm. The deepest truth is still ahead, and it has your name. This revelation changes everything about how you have viewed your own exhaustion, Taurus. Because understanding the mechanism of the dam is only half the journey. The other half is recognizing exactly who you became while you were standing in the freezing cold, waiting for a harvest you thought would never come. You are not just someone who endured a brutal delay. You were forged in that deep silence, shaped by the very weight you were forced to carry, and it is time to name exactly who emerged from that long wait. Taurus carries, Taurus sustains, Taurus does not ask. And in that relentless, silent endurance, you stepped fully into the role of the patient builder. You are the one who meticulously laid the bricks for everyone else's stability, making sure their walls were strong and their roofs were completely secure, even when your own foundation felt like it was crumbling beneath your feet. Your vulnerability wasn't a lack of strength. It was your quiet, devastating belief that you had to earn your basic right to rest by fixing everything around you first. Then, as the years passed, you became the silent anchor. When the waters got rough and everyone else was panicking, they tied their boats to you because they knew without a doubt that you wouldn't drift. You absorbed the chaos, the emotional demands, and the constant crises of others without ever complaining, holding them steady in the storm. But beneath the surface, the anchor quietly rusts in the dark, desperately hoping that someone might eventually realize how unimaginably heavy it is to hold the world in place alone. And finally, you are the tired sower. You walked out into the freezing mud every single night, planting seeds of care, time, and devotion in soils that rarely returned the favor. You kept giving because your beautiful heart is inherently designed to nurture, even when the garden you were tending belonged to someone who never even thanked you for the blooms. But look at where you are standing now, Taurus. The building is done, the heavy anchor is finally being pulled up from the dark water, and the massive harvest is instantly sprouting around you. Pay attention to your chest right now. Take a deep, slow breath and feel that soft warmth spreading through you. That warmth has a name, and it is called pure validation. You are not crazy, you were not foolish, and you were never wrong for hoping. This is the exact moment the universe crowns your quiet endurance, not with another heavy task, but with the undeniable physical proof that your silent sacrifices were recorded, deeply honored, and are finally being repaid. But this identity that has just been declared over you needs to be sustained, because the Taurus who knows their own worth without knowing their own debt goes back to carrying what is not theirs. To hold this new reality, you must have the map. And that is why I urge you to get The Great Secret Behind the Karmic Debt of Taurus, available right now in the first pinned comment. This digital book is the exact anchor you need for this new phase, guiding you through the release of past burdens, the shedding of old responsibilities, and the acceptance of the massive rewards knocking on your door today. Do not wait for the old feeling of unworthiness to return before you claim the guidance you need right now. You must protect this breakthrough by sustaining this new identity of receiving, so you never fall back into the habit of just enduring. Go to the first pinned comment now and secure your copy. I promised I would return to this, but first, you need to know exactly how this old cycle will try to pull you back in, because it will try. I told you I would explain how the old pattern will attempt to pull you back, and you need to hear this clearly because the cycle will definitely test your new reality. The dam has broken. The harvest is here, Taurus, but your mind has been conditioned for years to expect the delay, the struggle, and the eventual disappointment. This conditioning will not vanish overnight, and it will try to sabotage the delivery using 3 specific tactics over the next few days. But I'm not going to leave you unprotected. I'm giving you 3 precise weapons to disarm them. The first tactic is the overwhelming urge to sabotage the good news. When the long-awaited blessing finally arrives, a quiet voice in your head will immediately try to find the catch. It will convince you that this is a mistake, that it is too good to be true, or that you haven't struggled enough to deserve it. When that happens, Taurus, your weapon is simple and verbal. I want you to literally speak aloud. I am allowed to have things come easy. You must hear your own voice breaking the karmic rule that says you always have to suffer before you succeed. The second tactic is the sudden fear that it will all be taken away. You will receive exactly what you asked for, and instantly a knot of pure panic will form in your stomach. You will think that if you celebrate this, the universe will snatch it back. For some of you, this will manifest as waking up anxious for absolutely no reason. For others, it will look like constantly second-guessing a perfectly good opportunity, just to brace for impact. Your weapon here is a physical command. When that fear hits, physically open your hands and place them palms up on your lap. Do it deliberately. This somatic action signals your nervous system that you are safe to hold the blessing, forcing the phantom weight to dissolve. The third tactic is the heavy guilt of leaving your past versions behind. You will feel a sudden sorrow for resting while others are still working, or a strange sadness for outgrowing the people who used to rely on your endless sacrifices. The cycle will try to make you feel selfish for finally enjoying your own garden. When this guilt grips you, your weapon is absolute clarity. Say it clearly, Taurus. My harvest does not harm anyone else. Your success is not a theft. It is a cosmic payment. These 3 weapons protect you from what I managed to show you today, but the cycle has far more layers, deep-seated roots, and subtle traps than can possibly fit in a single video. When the urge to doubt the good news hits, when the fear of losing it all grips your chest, when you feel guilty for finally resting, you will need more than just these 3 initial defenses. You will need a comprehensive guide to permanently reprogram how you receive. But to ensure you don't drop the blessing, you need the complete manual, The Great Secret Behind the Karmic Debt of Taurus. This digital book is available right now in the first pinned comment. It is the essential tool that brings the absolute certainty that this harvest is yours and the map to prevent the cycle from ever returning. I am not rushing you, Taurus. I am warning you. Do not wait for self-sabotage to knock on your door tomorrow before you arm yourself with the truth today. This cosmic window of deliverance is open right now, but it will not pause while you debate your own worthiness. Go to the pinned comment and secure your copy so your hands remain open to receive. And now, I need you to stop learning for a moment and start feeling. I need you to completely lower your guard now. The time for fighting the current has passed, and your physical body needs to profoundly understand that the war is finally over. Drop your shoulders right now. Take one slow, deep breath and let it out as if you were exhaling years of accumulated dust and unspoken exhaustion. Close your eyes for just a moment. You have spent so much time scanning the horizon for the next storm, constantly bracing for the next inevitable disappointment, that your muscles have completely forgotten what it feels like to just exist without carrying the weight of the world. You do not have to hold it all together right now, Taurus. Just listen to my voice, soften your jaw, and allow yourself to be exactly where you are. Keep your eyes closed and picture that massive, heavy iron gate that has been rusted shut for years. You know this gate well. You have pushed against it until your hands literally bled, trying to force your harvest to arrive, begging the universe for a breakthrough. Now watch as the heavy lock simply clicks open on its own. The gate swings wide open without a single ounce of effort, revealing a path flooded with warm golden light. Just beyond it, your heavily loaded ship is safely docked in the quiet waters of the harbor. The struggle of planting in the freezing dark is absolutely behind you. The tide is calm, and the season to safely gather your enormous harvest is right in front of you. You just have to walk through. But as you step into that warm light, you must deliberately leave the old weights behind. Release the guilt of finally resting while others are still working. Release the deeply ingrained fear that this massive blessing will be suddenly taken away from you if you celebrate it. Release the ancient karmic debt that you have already paid in full through your years of silent, unrewarded endurance. And release the exhausting, heartbreaking belief that your destiny is to be the eternal provider who never gets to sit at the table and enjoy the feast. Instead of those heavy burdens, you will now carry the absolute power of who you became in the waiting. I activate the immense strength of the patient builder within you, transforming your foundation of relentless sacrifice into a permanent fortress of receiving. I activate the steady resilience of the silent anchor, shifting your purpose from holding others down in the storm to securing your own absolute unshakable peace. And I activate the pure, nurturing heart of the tired sower, decreeing that from this exact moment forward, every single seed you plant will bloom directly into your own open hands. You are feeling a profound, undeniable shift in your chest right now, a sudden lightness that almost brings tears to your eyes, simply because someone finally saw the invisible load you have been carrying for so long. Before we seal this entirely, go down to the comments. Write down the name of someone you have been carrying through this exhausting crossing, or if this journey is purely for your own soul, write in a single sentence exactly what you are finally ready to receive from the universe. I will read it, and you will not write this alone. Do not release this energy yet. We are not done. Stay with me. Your foundation is now completely sealed. The heavy effort you poured into the dark is protected. The massive harvest that is docking right now belongs exclusively to you. You called it a cruel delay, but I was simply holding back the waters so your roots could grow deep enough to sustain what I was preparing for you. I saw you sitting on the edge of your bed, exhausted, wondering if your time would ever come. I watched you quietly absorb the burdens of everyone around you, while your own hands remained painfully empty. I witnessed every night you spent planting seeds in the freezing dark, believing you were destined to be the eternal provider who never gets to sit at the table and enjoy the feast. I held back the tide not to break your spirit, but to ensure that when your ship finally docked, it would bring a cargo you could carry forever without it crushing your foundation. The karmic debt is completely balanced now, and the invisible dam has been permanently removed. You have earned this release, and your massive harvest is officially ready to be claimed. The urge to sabotage the good news that speaks with your own voice, it ends right here. The sudden fear that the blessing will be taken away if you celebrate it, it ends right here. The heavy guilt of leaving your past versions behind while you finally rest, it ends right here. Taurus is never late. Taurus is not behind anyone. Taurus arrives right on time. Don't let go yet. The universe has just told you. I saw you sitting on the edge of your bed, exhausted, wondering if your time would ever come. And that is exactly why I need to remind you of something before sealing this. What was released here today is absolutely real, but tomorrow morning, that old familiar ache of waiting that will try to convince you this new reality is just a dream will try to pull you back. You must not let it. The great secret behind the karmic debt of Taurus, is waiting for you right now in the first pinned comment. This digital book is the exact map required for maintaining the beautiful release you achieved today, ensuring the waiting room remains closed forever. Do not wait for the morning light to test your faith in what was just unlocked. Go to the pinned comment and secure your copy. There are thousands of Taurus listening to this exact message right now, standing in the same profound silence as you, feeling the exact same weight finally lifting from their shoulders. If this voice found you today, subscribe to the channel, not to become just another number, but because the next message in this series is going to look for exactly the ones who have already crossed this first threshold. In the next video of this series, I am going to reveal the specific physical sensation that happens exactly 48 hours before your biggest karmic reward is delivered, and why you usually mistake it for anxiety. Do not miss it. And still in this video, Taurus, before I seal this hour with you, I come back one last time to this request. You have walked with me this far. You have crossed every word, every revelation, every sign. And if at any moment of this message you felt the universe touch you, you know this video was not an accident. The voluntary donation link remains open in the first pinned comment, right below the digital book. Not as a charge, not as an exchange, but as a giving back from the one who received to the source this message came from. Any amount your heart points to, and the universe sees every gesture. The universe sees. And the universe multiplies over your home, over your days, over what you don't even know is about to arrive. This was my last request. I'll be waiting for you there. Thank you so much. And when the phantom weight tries to return tomorrow, remember that the answer has a name, the great secret of the karmic debt, and it is already within your reach. The heavy iron gate is permanently open. Your ship is safely resting in the quiet waters of the harbor, and the massive harvest you waited so long to see is finally entirely yours to keep. Now you can let go. This message is complete. What was seen was seen. What was settled was settled. Walk light, Taurus.